Welcome to Sacred Place Live on this Thursday. Hope you're having a great week. I'm Matthew, your host, and we continue today with the story of the golden calf from Exodus 32. I'll read it again here for you in a moment, but I introduced this story on Tuesday, and I want to dive a little more deeper today. Who is our God and who are we? That's what I'll be talking about today and tomorrow. I'm glad you've taken time out of your day and week to be with me now. Let us find a way to pause and welcome God's presence among us through this song.
Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon you, Lord. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon you, Lord, our God. You reign forever. Our hope, our strong deliverer. You are the everlasting God, the everlasting God. You do not faint and you won't grow weary. You're the defender of the weak. You comfort those in need. You lift us up on wings like eagles. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon you, Lord. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord, our God. You reign forever. Our hope, our strong deliverer. You are the everlasting God, the everlasting God. You do not faint and you won't grow weary. You're the defender of the weak. You comfort those in need. You lift us up on our wings like eagles. You are the everlasting God, the everlasting God. You do not faint and you won't grow weary. You're the defender of the weak. You comfort those in need. You lift us up on our wings like eagles.
Hear these words from Exodus 32. The people saw that Moses was taking a long time to come down from the mountain. They gathered around Aaron and said to him, "Come on, make us gods who can lead us. As for this man Moses who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we don't have a clue what has happened to him." Aaron said to them, "All right, take out the gold rings from the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me." So all the people took out the gold rings from their ears and brought them to Aaron. He collected them and tied them up in a cloth. Then he made a metal image of a bull calf, and the people declared, "These are your gods, Israel, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt." When Aaron saw this, he built an altar in front of the calf. Then Aaron announced, "Tomorrow will be a festival to the Lord." They got up early the next day and offered up entirely burnt offerings and brought well-being sacrifices. The people sat down to eat and drink and then got up to celebrate. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Hurry up and go down. Your people whom you brought up out of the land of Egypt are ruining everything. They have already abandoned the path that I commanded. They have made a metal bull calf for themselves. They've bowed down to it and offered sacrifices to it and declared, 'These are your gods, Israel, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt.'" The Lord said to Moses, "I've been watching these people, and I've seen how stubborn they are. Now leave me alone. Let my fury burn." But Moses pleaded with the Lord his God. "Lord, why does your fury burn against your own people, whom you brought out of the land of Egypt with great power and amazing force? Why should the Egyptians say, 'He had an evil plan to take the people out and kill them in the mountains, and so wipe them off the earth'? Calm down your fierce anger. Change your mind about doing terrible things to your own people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, your servants whom you yourself promised. I'll make your descendants as many as the stars in the sky, and I've promised to give your descendants this whole land to possess for all time." Then the Lord changed his mind about the terrible things he said he would do to his people. So we continue today with the story of the golden calf, which our translation doesn't even say is golden. So the graven image, the calf that was made from the metal the people had. On Tuesday, I talked about how the idea may not be here that they were worshiping other gods, but were trying to make God more tangible. What I didn't cover that I probably should have, if I'm introducing this text, is what's happened since our text last week when the people left Egypt. During this time, they've been in the wilderness, and Moses has been leading them. We've already had the experience where Moses went up onto the mountain and received the 10 Commandments. So they know what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. And it seems they have forgotten that in some way. Not because they're trying to replace God with another God, but that they're kind of forgetting who they should be thanking for their deliverance. It seems as though they're trying to place Moses as the one who led them out of Egypt with the power and responsibility of doing so. And with him gone for this long period of time, they begin to lose hope in who will lead them. They even describe Moses as the one who brought them out of Egypt when it really was the Lord, Yahweh, God. So when Moses is on the mountaintop, he even says, "The ones whom you brought up out of Egypt." Though God says the same thing to Moses. So this text really is about, to me, who deserves the glory. Moses was brave, but he was but an instrument through whom God was working. So when we get to the root of what was going on here, I think the people were misplacing their trust, their understanding of the promise that was given to God's people. Worshipping an intangible, unseeable God is not an easy thing to do. We even now try and make God more tangible. Now, sure, that happened through Jesus, God who became human and present among us, but we're before that part of the story. So, for the Israelites who saw a mighty act that their God did for them, they place some of that expectation of who God is on Moses himself as the one whom God used. And in his absence, they long for a physical presence of God. So they make this golden calf to represent God. I can understand why they would do that. In this time when they're still wandering, they still haven't fully settled on where is home. They are looking for something which can symbolize the one whom they worship. Aaron seems to get this and tries to, I think, as the chief priest among them, to remind them who they are worshiping with a festival, with a feast, with offerings and sacrifices, building an altar there. I wonder how we place our faith in God in the wrong places. Do we place it on physical things, the blessings God gives us? Do we place it on a symbol like the cross? Do we place God in a building or in a place, in a sanctuary, at an altar? Do we place our faith in God in others? Clergy like me, even political leaders who we think are blessed by God to lead us. Doing so reduces the almighty majesty of our God. We as God's people aren't supposed to try and define who God is. We are simply but to worship, to have no other gods and no graven images in place of God. Even, I think, our worship of Jesus can make God a little small, if that's the only understanding of God we have. God is so much bigger than the human form of Jesus. God is so much bigger than what Jesus taught us. God is creator of us all, of everything we see. And the Spirit which moves among us and empowers us. And yes, we can know God in the person of Jesus as well. But let us not make God too small, too incapable of doing all that we hope and dream God can do, all that God has promised to us. May that be the place in which you find hope, that God is bigger than we can imagine, and won't be constrained by the things other people say about who God is. I hope that that understanding of God can be integral to who we are as we create sacred place wherever we are and wherever we go. I hope you will join me tomorrow at 3:30 or 3:45, depending on how long it takes me to get things set up and ready, as we conclude this story, as we talk about who we know God to be and how we should live in response. If you can't make it tomorrow, there'll be a video version that you can watch at any time on our website, on YouTube, on Facebook, in the live tab. I hope you'll make time to be with us face to face, though digitally, on Zoom, on 10:30, on Sunday at 10:30. And if you have kids, our story time is at 9 for them. That time of virtual digital community is one of the biggest ways that we are church. It is one of the things for which we long for and need so much, human connection. Details about those gatherings are on our website at yoursacredplace.org. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. This is your sacred place.